So welcome for the first session with our new events called Meet the Expert. Today we are going to introduce you the new functionalities and the new key features of SCANeR 2021. So I'm Paul Rigaud. I'm working as a pre-sales engineer at AVSimulation, and I will be also with my colleague Nicolas, who is also working in the same department than me. And the goal of today is to introduce you and show you the main and key features of SCANeR 2021 that, for your information, were released in last December. So it's already available on our website and it's already ready to use. So let's jump into the meeting today. So we have almost an hour to discuss these different topics. So what are we going to talk today? First of all, we are going to see the main key features of SCANeR 2021. So we have a lot of amazing new features. So we are going to introduce you the main ones, the key ones. So first of all, we are going to see more in details our 3D rendering with the Unreal Engine, which is totally a new features. We have this new 3D rendering since SCANeR 2021. Then we are going to see why we want to be more and more open with SCANeR Studio. And for that, we have brand new standards that we are compatible with SCANeR 2021. Then we'll see two new types of sensor that we have available. We have a new light sensor and a level 2 physics-based lidar. Then we'll see new kind of application we can have with SCANeR Studio 2021. So we can have more advanced application regarding hardware in the loop and vehicle in the loop application. We will see some of our projects that we have with some of our customers. Then we will see the new functionalities that we have with SCANeR Explore and SCANeR Compute with the massive simulation. Then a new tool called Sensor Viewer. And finally, we will finish by seeing these new amazing tools that we have with the scenario with SCANeR 2021. And also because we know that one of the main features and one of the most incredible things we have with SCANeR 2021 is this new Unreal Engine. We are going to have with Nicolas a live demonstration on how to use this new engine with SCANeR Studio with a live presentation. And then, of course, we'll finish with your question and we'll answer them. So please feel free to use the chat in this event. And please, if you want to be anonymous when you ask the question, you can just maybe let us know that it was your question in case we need to contact you at the end of the session. So let's jump into the presentation of the main key features. So like I said, one of the new features that we have, and I think one of the important steps in the evolution of our product is this new 3D rendering with Unreal Engine. So why we choose Unreal Engine? So as you can see on the screen, with this presentation we made and with this video we made within SCANeR Studio, Unreal Engine is an amazing 3D rendering. It's used in a lot of different fields, in very advanced video games. A lot of people already use it, know it. It's very open. We have a lot of assets available. We can have a lot of plugins to customize your experience with the Unreal Engine. So the goal is to bring all this power of this Unreal Engine within SCANeR Studio and to have a very, I will say, take all these powerful resources of Unreal and bringing them inside SCANeR Studio. So because we know it's something very important for you and for all of our customers, we are going to have, like I said at the end of this presentation, a demo by Nicolas that are going to show you step by step how to use an asset of Unreal within SCANeR Studio. So now you can see the final result, but we will see more like how to do it within SCANeR Studio. So that's the first tool. So please stay until the end to have a better overview of how it works and what you can do with this new 3D rendering. But we don't only have this new amazing 3D rendering, we also have a lot of other key features. So one of these new key features is the fact that, as you probably know, SCANeR Studio is an open platform. We want to be open to your solution, to your standards, to your product that you're already using. The goal is not to be closed, it's to be open with other standards not only in the simulation world, but also in the automotive world in general. It's why we try to bring more standards from the automotive world and not only standards from the simulation world. So one of the new products and the new module, I will say, that we have inside SCANeR Studio is called ROS Bridge. It's a new module natively available with SCANeR 2021, will allow you to manage to interface SCANeR Studio with a RAS environment. So we know that a lot of user wants to communicate with the ROS environment. So with this native ROS bridge, you can talk to a ROS environment. And like always with SCANeR Studio, with this module, we give you access to some API and some plugin to allow you to customize this module to be able to talk with your software, your ROS solution. So in this case, we have this plugin with ROS that allow you to have a co-simulation between AutoWare software and SCANeR Studio. So as you can see on this video, on the left, I have a vehicle with a lidar on AutoWare that is going to control with a closed feedback loop our vehicle inside SCANeR Studio, thanks to the co-simulation between this ROS environment and SCANeR Studio. So like I said, it's already available, this module, and also all this API and plugin to be able to customize your experience and to be able to integrate your ROS environment with SCANeR Studio. We have also this OpenCRG support for the file. So this file is used to make description of the road surface and to be able to actually change the elevation of your road surface at several points. So we can easily manage different elevation at different points for the road surface. So in OpenCRG, we can customize this road surface. Then inside SCANeR Studio, we go in the terrain mode. And for every lane of the terrain modes, as you can probably know, we can change the road surface and the rolling surface. So now we can edit this rolling surface and change the type of rolling surface and use this OpenCRG file, will allow us to have a more advanced integration and a more advanced application regarding the elevation of the road. So for every lane, it's possible to choose between using our file or OpenCRG file and customize the rolling surface of our terrain. So a result of what we can do, as you can see, we can have way more advanced application for vehicle dynamics with different elevation to be able to, I would say, have a better analysis of your tire model, for example, with this OpenCRG file. Also, to finish on this part, we have a new sensor, which is called eHorizon, that is going to use map to deliver information on the vehicle route. So this eHorizon sensor, sorry, is going to use the AVSimulation protocol to package this information. So the same, it's available in SCANeR 2021. We have a new module to manage this eHorizon module, and we have this new sensor available in our resources. And the goal is to be able to have a map embedded in our vehicle, so we know what in the path of our vehicle, what we're going to have in the same path of our vehicle, because we're going to import and embed a map inside our vehicle. So we know that, okay, in the next 50 meters, we are going to encounter this road sign, this road marking, this road curvature. So all this information are based on the AVSimulation protocol, and all these new messages, as you can see on the right of the screen, can be available through the control pad module of SCANeR Studio. We can see these AVSimulation messages in the SCANeR Studio control pad, and of course have access to this information through the API of SCANeR Studio, and it's working as a normal sensor of SCANeR Studio. So you already know a little bit how we can work with this sensor and all these messages. To see the other new sensor, so we don't only have the eHorizon sensor, we also have new type of sensor. So we have a new light sensor. So the light sensor allows us to measure the illuminescence of the scene. So this sensor allow us to have an idea of the luminescence and lux of the scene. And of course, it takes into account various parameters. So it takes into account the weather, the time of the day, if we have cloud or not, for example, but also the other vehicles, if we go through a tunnel or not, the street light, etc., etc. So it will compute all this information to have a very accurate value of the illuminescence of the scene. The goal after is to be able to mix this information with another sensor, like for example, a camera sensor. So you can adapt the performances of your camera regarding the illuminescence of the scene. So as you can see here, we increase the cloud density. So the lux value decrease because we have less illuminescence in our scene. But we also take into account the tunnel, but also the public street light. As you can see, we have a little increase in the value because of this street light. Another type of sensor that is already available to in SCANeR 2021. So as you probably know, we have already some level 2 physics-based sensor. So what is for us a level 2 physics-based sensor? So first of all is a sensor based on physical, that will use the physical properties of our scene in real time. So for this level 2 sensor, we have a project with Octal, our sister company, which is a specialized company in all the simulation of the sensor. So we already have some other sensors that are physics-based, but now we bring this new lidar level 2 inside SCANeR Studio. So what you can do with this new lidar is that you can, for example, have non-perfect beams. You can also take into account all the physical properties of your scene. So if you want to have to take into account the echo of the scene, so for example, if your lidar beam have any echoes between a metallic surface, for example, we'll take into account this echo and all these physical properties to have a more physics-based lidar available in SCANeR Studio. Also, another tool that is related to the sensor, it's this new module called Sensor Viewer. So Sensor Viewer is here to help you to use and to have access to information that are sent by our sensor in SCANeR Studio. The sensor in SCANeR Studio, they're amazing. They can send you a lot of information, but sometimes it's a bit complicated to have access and to understand which information we have and what are the real meaning at a perception point of view of this information. Now, if you launch the sensor viewer, you have all this information displayed in a new module. So as you can see, we have more information about the road marking. We can see also the bounding boxes of the vehicle, etc., etc. So we have this module. The goal is to be able to have a easiest access to the information sent by the sensor. So as you can see, you can change the point of view in this module. You can have two different channels that will display two different information. So the goal is to be very able to visualize your sensor output and to make a debug work on this sensor output, for example. So because we know that we have also a very powerful tool regarding the scenario and all the scripting events, we add some other nice functionalities to these scenario tools. So one of these new functionality is the possibility to have a traffic vehicle, so a vehicle managed by our traffic module, going in a reverse situation. So you can drive in reverse thanks to a new functionality in SCANeR Studio. So why we decided to implement that inside SCANeR Studio, it's because we know that more and more we have situation where the ADAS system needs to be validated in this kind of situation of a reverse driving, because we have more and more crash in a reverse driving situation between a vehicle and a pedestrian. So we want to be able to implement that inside SCANeR Studio, so you can do it. And like always with SCANeR Studio, you can, with new mice function, with scripting function, you can easily switch to I would say normal driving situation to a drive in reverse situation. So dynamically during the simulation, you can change dynamically during the simulation to a type of driving, to a reverse situation, Also, for people that wants to execute a lot of scenario with SCANeR Studio, now we have this possibility to launch the scenario with various parameters. So before the 2021 version, let's say that you want to run a first simulation in which your ego speed is 20 km/h, and then you want to run the exact same simulation but with an ego speed at 30 km/h. So before SCANeR 2021, you need to go inside the vehicle parameters, edit the speed, edit the initial speed, save the scenario, launch your simulation, then go back to editing your model and your script, change the speed of the vehicle, save your scenario, etc., etc. So it can be a little bit time consuming when you want to have exactly the same scenario, but with just slight change in some parameters. So now when you launch a simulation inside SCANeR Studio, when you play the scenario, you can, as you can see, change some of the parameters, and it will not save you a new scenario. It will be exactly the same scenario. It will just be executed with different parameters. So you can dynamically and very easily make slight modification without having to save a new scenario or make any kind of other change in your scenario. Then also, because we know it's a topic that attracts more and more our customer and user of SCANeR Studio, we have a new project that we have developed for the hardware in the loop application and vehicle in the loop application. So first of all, we have a support of National Instrument Stand real-time platform and the Space Calexio real-time platform. So we have a better support because we have now the possibility to deploy and to run our dynamic model CALAS on a real-time platform. So we have this new CALAS real-time vehicle dynamics that can be easily executed on a real-time platform. So the goal, of course, is to be able to have a very easy integration of CALAS real-time platform vehicle dynamics on this platform. And always, and since a lot of versions of SCANeR Studio, we have the RT Gateway module to exchange information with this real-time platform and to communicate also with the system under test on the real-time platform. So new in SCANeR 2021, the possibility to run and execute this CALAS RT model on a real-time platform. Okay, and also for another application with SCANeR, so SCANeR for vehicle in the loop application. So the same, we have project now with our customer, and we have the possibility to run SCANeR Studio, for example, on a vehicle on a bench, where you will have a mix between a real and a virtual environment. So you will have your vehicle on the bench that will control the ego vehicle inside SCANeR Studio, and you can use the traffic vehicle or all the other actors of SCANeR Studio to have them virtually around your ego vehicle, which is a physical ego vehicle on a bench. Regarding the massive simulation, so as a reminder, we have SCANeR Studio and SCANeR Explore and SCANeR Compute as a product. So SCANeR Explore and SCANeR Compute are more, I would say, designed to answer your need about massive simulation. So they are here to be able to execute hundreds and thousands of scenarios in a very fast and efficient way. So for the people that use SCANeR Explore and SCANeR Compute, it's possible to use them on a laptop. So you can run 8 instances of SCANeR Compute to execute 8 scenarios in the same time in the simulation. So you can really have a local execution of your scenario on a local desktop. But some of our customers also wants to run this scenario on a massive platform, so on a cloud environment, for example. So it's also possible. And what we have built in SCANeR 2021, it's this new plugin, the Explore plugin API, that allow you to very easily switch to an environment to another. So if you want to run some of your scenario on a local desktop, you can, and then with this new user plugin that you can develop with the Explore plugin API, you can easily, after, execute this same scenario on a massive platform. So the the change between a local desktop and a massive platform is way more easy, and you can use this common database of scenario and run all of these scenario very easily on the desktop, but also on a massive platform. So that's it for the main features. Now we are going to switch through a demonstration by Nicolas about how to use SCANeR with the Unreal Engine.
Hello everyone, I'm Nicolas and I will be presenting you the way to integrate real marketplaces assets into your project in order to use them in SCANeR. So I will share my screen right now. There we go. So first of all, the thing you have to do is to install Unreal Engine from the Epic Game Store. This can be downloaded on their website, and install our project template that we provide with the SCANeR installation under x64, bin x64, sorry, and Unreal. After you have installed this template, you can create your project like this from the editor's project setup. So in this part, the project is creating and compiling. We will skip this part for time purposes. We won't need Visual Studio for this kind of project because everything is set up in the template. So you don't have to code anything in order to be able to see your assets in your simulation. So we won't be using Visual Studio. Once you have created your project, just check that the plugins from the template are in the project. So SCANeR Core, SCANeR Image Sharing, SCANeR RPT, and the SCANeR Toolbar, and create a new content plugin that will be holding all of your content from the scene you are creating. In my case, this would be a winter scene. So I'm creating my plugin right now. And once the plugin is created, you will see the folder containing all the contents of this plugin. We can now go on the marketplace and fetch the assets that are interesting for us and interesting us. I will get the automotive winter scene and integrate it in my project. So in this part, the Epic Game Store is loading the assets into my scene. Once they are loaded, they will be in the content folder. In this part, we will have to move them from the content folder into our plugins content folder, because we need to have the references in our plugin and not in the content folder of the project, in order for the scene to be able to find the assets that we're using. In this part, the Unreal Engine is transferring all the assets from one folder to another and setting up all the references. Once it is done, as it should be in some seconds, there we go, we will have to set up our scene the way we want. So my scene would be Ice Road. That is already set up in this project. That's why I'm using it, because I like the scene and it's ready to go. So in this scene, the reference to the light scene was not set up. So I just need to get the level that is representing the lighting and put it in the main level, in the current level, sorry. As you can see now, we have a beautiful winter scene that we will use in our simulation. In this part, I am extracting only the road in order for me to be able to create my logical road on top of it. In this case, only exporting the landscape will do, exporting it in a static mesh, and clicking on pivot point to 0 is needed because we need the pivot point of the asset we will be importing into SCANeR terrain to be at 0. This will be made for us to not have to make the conversions needed between the Unreal reference system and SCANeR terrain reference system. So here I am exporting this asset into a static mesh that I will be using in SCANeR terrain. I am exporting this. We will skip a little bit. There we go. So after the export is done, I will go grab my asset in the right folder. That would be the custom assets folder. And as you can see, we have exported only the road in our scene. It is a static mesh. And now this static mesh has to be exported into an FBX file that we will be using as a reference for our IVE file. So I'm exporting this into an FBX file. And after the export is done, I have to open a 3D modeling editor like Blender, for instance, in order to scale this object to the right one. The scale of FBX files is 100 times bigger than an IVE file, the one we are using in SCANeR terrain. So when we're importing this, for instance, in Blender, you have to check that the scale is right. And here we'll be setting up the scale to 0.01 in order to divide by 100 the size of this static mesh. Once it is imported, you see that our road is in the editor, and the only thing we have to do is export it into an OBJ file that we will be using as a reference to convert to our IVE file. So as you can see, I am exporting this object. Once the export is done, I will be converting this object from the folder on the left, that is the folder where I have exported my OBJ file as ice road, and the folder on the right, that is the folder terrain in your SCANeR config, and under the folder ice road that will be holding all the 3D data needed for my terrain. So using this executable that is called OSG-conv, that you can find in the install folder of SCANeR under bin and under x64. This executable helps you convert OBJ file into IVE files. So once the conversion is done, you can now use your newly converted terrain into SCANeR terrain. I'm opening SCANeR right now. And I will be using the terrain mode to be able to create my terrain. I'm creating a new terrain and setting up the 3D terrain of this road. That would be ice road. If you want to detect the borders of your terrain, you can, but this is quite time consuming and I won't be doing it for now. You can display now the 3D of our terrain and start drawing your road, your logical road on top of it. So I'll skip a little bit this part. As you can see, it's the same way of doing it as any other terrain we're drawing, for the exception that we had to import the 3D file. So I will be doing a little bit of this road, and don't forget to check that your elevation is right on your road. You can display the terrain section you're working on. And for my part, only the far right was not good, so I had to correct it. I will be saving my road, my R&D file here, and use it in a new scenario. So I'm creating my scenario now using the newly created terrain, ice road. And once I have loaded this terrain, I can drop down, I can display the logical road for starters, and start dropping down vehicles on this road. So for this scenario, I will be dropping a BMW. I will be saving my scenario. This will be a test run. And now that my scenario is saved, I need to do one more part. I need to recreate the hierarchy, the folder hierarchy that is the same as in my SCANeR config. So this would be SCANeR for our root folder, data, terrain because we're replacing terrain folders, terrain data, sorry, and ice road. In this ice road folder, I will be copying my level I have just created. So I'm copying the level here. This hierarchy is needed for the uRenderer module to be able to find all the references and not convert the assets on the go. And I need to set up in my main level, which is the first level the application runs when it is the module is started. This is the level that is included in our template project. I am loading this level, and in this one I will be streaming the level I have just created. You can do this by going into the different levels and simply dropping down the level you have just created into this one. And as you can see, we will now set up the lighting, build the lighting, because for now it's kind of burnt. And we need to check that there are no errors. For instance, in this case, several atmospheres have been imported into our scene, and you can only have one. And the one you have to keep is the one provided by our template, which is called, as you can see, BP SCANeR SunSky Volumetric 2. So now we have done this. Now that we have done this, sorry, we can see that our scene is set up correctly. And there will be a last part to do, which is transfer the data we have just created, so the ice road, into our default config. This is done because for now, the uRenderer module only retrieves this data from this config. So you have your terrain has to be in this config. And we can now start the uRenderer module. As you can see, the connection is made and we can start our simulation. And it runs quite smoothly. As you can see, you can change the point of view, display or hide the vehicle, everything that OSG can do. And as you can see, the display is quite beautiful in this mountain side. So that's it for me. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation. This video will be available, I think, in a few days, in somewhere or another, for you to recreate this workflow. And the documentation is also available in SCANeR, so you can try to make it on your own. Thank you for listening. And Paul, I think we had a few questions, maybe?
Yes, thank you very much, Nicolas. And yeah, if you have any question, please free to use the chat to ask your question. We have a little bit of time to answer them.
Hi guys. Hey, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Nicolas. It was very interesting. This is Sylvain Philippe speaking. We have a few questions from the chat. It is quite exciting what you showed. We have some people interested in testing SCANeR Studio. So do you have? Is it possible? The question is it possible to try SCANeR Studio SCANeR product families?
Yes, of course. If you go to our official website on AVSimulation.com, I think it's the first page is if you want to try SCANeR Studio 2021 and you can have access to a free trial. You just need to send us your name, your email address, and you will receive a free trial of SCANeR 2021. So do not hesitate to ask for it, and we'll be happy to show you more about it in details.
Thank you very much, Paul. Yeah, we also have another question about we have some participants who already are using SCANeR Studio, but older versions than 2021, and they are curious to know if they can install the new SCANeR 2021 version next to the SCANeR 1.9 version, for example. So is it possible to have both versions next each others?
Yes, of course. Yes, if you are using already SCANeR Studio, and I can understand that you could be afraid of losing any kind of data scenario, and you just want to say, okay, I want to be sure that I'm keeping my environment, and I just want to try some new features of SCANeR 2021. Of course, you can. You can have both your, I would say, historical version and SCANeR 2021 side by side, and there is no risk of losing any kind of data or anything. It's really possible. We have a lot of our users that are already doing it. So if you want just to try a few features of SCANeR 2021, yeah, side by side with your historical version, it's definitely possible, and it's definitely something you can do also with the trial version. So if something you want to do, just ask for the trial, and we can also definitely manage to plan a little session for you to make the installation with you if you're afraid to do anything like bad, but I don't think it could happen.
Sounds great. Thank you, Paul. We have another questions regarding Unreals. Is it possible to, from the marketplace, to get assets and then use them into your environments? I will say like static objects, for example, trees or buildings or stuff like this. Can we do that?
Yes, it is possible. You can get your assets from the asset store, and the documentation provided in SCANeR covers this workflow. So it is kind of similar to the one I have just showed you, but there are some differences, and the documentation covers it all, so it works fine.
Excellent. Thank you, Nicolas. Still a question around the Unreals. Do we have, so you showed that you can create new terrain from Unreal Marketplace, and so that's great. And we have some participants who are interested in to know if we provide terrains with SCANeR natively compatible with URenderer module.
Yeah, of course. For now, Lake City is fully compatible with uRenderer, so it was updated with high definition assets as well as light working, light parametering, and all the things you can do in Unreal. This was a fully AVS project. Also, all today terrains are compatible due to the conversions that is made at the start of the simulation. So when you start the simulation with an Unreal visual, every asset will be every asset that is not in your Unreal project, or if you don't have any Unreal project, will be converted from IVE to the Unreal data, to Unreal data.
Thank you very much, Nicolas. Yeah, sounds good. We have another questions related to the sensors. So we have been talking about new sensors into SCANeR Studio, about lidar, but do we have also other physical-based sensors in SCANeR Studio available?
Yes, of course. lidar is just the new baby with the physics-based sensor, but we already have a level 2 camera and a level 2 and level 3 radar. So we have a physics-based lidar in real time with the level 2, and we have also a full basics radar with the level 3. It's already available, and of course, like for the SCANeR 2021, if you want to have a try, we can definitely go on our website and we can have for you a trial version of this new physics-based sensor. So if you are interested just to try it, the same, it could be in SCANeR 2021 or with another version of SCANeR. So please go on our website. You can ask for a trial of this physical sensor, or feel free to contact us, and we can definitely see for a trial period of this sensor, not only the lidar 2, but also the other physics-based sensor that we have inside SCANeR Studio.
Thank you, Paul. We have some other questions. Just for your information, Paul, we do have some participants who would be interested to see maybe if you can show on the website where are the informations about the different packs for ADAS and physical based, and maybe also about the next workshop and etc. So we have a few questions like this. Otherwise, the next question we have is so we have some customers using already SCANeR Studio, and they still want to use our historic visual graphic engine OpenScene Graph. Is it something that can be still used, or is it still available in SCANeR Studio? That's a question we do have.
Yeah, of course. uRenderer and OSG Visual are two different modules that can be run separately. So it is still available in SCANeR install. OSG Visual is still available, and you don't need to. You don't have to run. You're not obligated to run it with uRenderer.
Good, that's clear. Thank you, Nicolas. We have another questions about a new feature from SCANeR Studio 2021, something which was not perfectly clear for our participants. For that, what is the difference? What are the differences between the play scenario with parameters functionality that we have now in SCANeR Studio versus SCANeR Compute? What would be the major differences?
Okay, that's a very good question. It's not exactly the same thing. So first of all, this new feature with the launch now with parameters, it's available in SCANeR Studio 2021. So it's embedded in SCANeR 2021. You don't need to use SCANeR Explore, SCANeR Compute. It's embedded, it's ready to use. You install SCANeR 2021, you can do that. SCANeR Explore and SCANeR Compute, which are other products from AVSimulation, are more dedicated to massive simulation. So if it's more dedicated for people that wants to, from a template scenario, build thousands, millions of small iteration of this template scenario and then execute them in parallel on a massive platform, for example. The goal of the scenario with parameters is only to play with few parameters of the simulation. It's not to have a lot of changes over this scenario. And also one of the biggest differences is that with SCANeR Explore, you will build and you will have thousands, millions of different scenario files. With this play scenario with parameters, you don't create every time a new scenario file. So like I said, it's really, if you want to make slight modification, you can do it directly from SCANeR with the play scenario with parameters. Now, if you want to have more massive simulation application, when the goal is to run a lot of scenario in parallel and to have a very, I would say, good overview and from a same situation to cover all the cases that are possible, it will be more with this SCANeR Compute and SCANeR Explore product, and not with this play scenario with parameters.
Thank you, Paul. We have another questions for people who are working in hardware in the loop, test validation, and vehicle dynamics. It's quite interesting what you said about the new feature, CALAS real-time targets, and our participants would be interested in testing it. Is it something that we can provide? Do we provide a sample of CALAS RT vehicle dynamics?
Yes. So the same. If you install SCANeR 2021, you will have access to a sample of this CALAS made for a real-time platform. So it's definitely possible. We have sample, we have documentation about it. And I can also tell you that we have projects with some of our users that have already deployed this solution on their real-time platform. So also we have experiences with this product, so we know to do it. So please, if you want to have a try, we have the sample, we have the documentation, and we also have the experiences to help you to deploy this solution on your real-time platform.
Thank you. We have another questions about the rendering engine of SCANeR. Is it still something available that we can manage and parameter the weather and the time of the day? Is it something still available with the new rendering engine?
Yes, of course. It's these are parameters you can change in the simulation, and they will be transmitted to the Unreal Visual through our RPC module that uses the same network messages that every other module uses. And it will display the changes properly with rain, snow, fog, time of the day, etc. And you can also use all this information the SCANeR network is providing to script your project the way you want. So you can use these messages to code your own behavior if you're an advanced user, or create a real environment that is really alive and really something that is very visual.
Good, thank you, Nicolas. Yeah, I think we have some different other questions. The most one that come quite often, Paul, is how we can get access to these trial versions.
Yes.
And so if you can maybe try to show that would be.
Of course, yeah. Can you see my screen? I think so. So yeah, I just opened AVSimulation.com. So we have our website. So if you go to the SCANeR section here, you can see we have the free downloads here, just right here. So as you can see here, I can ask for the trial version of SCANeR Studio 2021. So you just click here. Few questions, the company name, your email address, send it, and you will receive this trial license. And maybe what I should have said, maybe it's that everything that we show to you today were made with this trial version. It was not made with a specific version, with other development. No. Everything that we show, it's available in the trial version, and all the contents we have produced were made with this trial version. So it's, if you want to try to play with it or just to do what we have shown you in the video, feel free to ask for this SCANeR Studio trial version. Also, and it's a new feature that we have on our website, we have this possibility to download a sample pack. Because what we want to do is to really show to our user all the things we can do with SCANeR Studio. We can do a lot of application in ADAS, headlight, etc., etc. So what we have done with this SCANeR sample packs is that we provide to you some samples, so some example of scenario configuration to be able to learn more how to do few, I will say, automotive application within SCANeR Studio. So we have a sample pack, we have a sample about how we put an AEB in SCANeR Studio, how to manage the headlight with SCANeR Studio, etc. So the same, it's free. You can just download the sample pack and have access to a lot of scenario to better understand how to use this solution. And maybe to before to finish on this trial time. So like I said, you can try your physical sensor here. So the same, you can ask here a trial version, just telling us what do you want to do, what kind of sensor you want to have access. So it's free, it will come with a link, and of course we will be there to help you to install and use this new physics-based sensor. And also, as always, we still have our partnership with the UTAC-CERAM to all the NCAP scenario. So the same, if you want to have a try on this new scenario, and if you want to just see what it looks like and how to use it, please download it. So as if you want to install everything, of course you can ask a trial for all of that. So you will have a full version of SCANeR 2021 with some samples to begin with the scenario. You will have example of the NCAP scenario that we can do with the UTAC-CERAM and physics-based sensor. So you will have a very complete product, and you will be able to evaluate everything we show you. And because I'm on the website, I'm just going to go here in the OER section in the events. So today it was our second event. So last week we had a getting started event. So the getting started is events to be able to help you to begin with SCANeR Studio. So to give you the basics about SCANeR Studio for the new user or people that maybe use SCANeR for a long time and they want to have a refresh session. And today it was our second session, so meet the expert about SCANeR 2021. So it was the first session. We are going to cover other aspects of SCANeR Studio during this event. So during the meet the expert, the goal is to see very, I would say, news, the latest news with AVSimulation, with our new product, our new functionalities. And the third type of event that we have are the how-to technical workshop. So the goal is, for example, to answer this question, how to interface in ADAS within SCANeR Studio. So if you want to do this kind of application, you can attend to a technical workshop. Everything, of course, it's free. You just do the same thing that you have done. You just register and you will receive a invitation, and you will be able to learn more about SCANeR Studio and the latest news of SCANeR Studio. So feel free to join us for the next events. And if you want to have all the calendar and all the events on our website, where we are events, and you have a full description of all the upcoming events. Yes, that's it. That's it for me.
Thank you very much, Paul. Something maybe that we can add is that you can ask for the free trial solutions, SCANeR solutions on our website. If you already have a contact at AVSimulations, just feel free also to ask him directly. Okay, the downloading links. You don't have to go through this web page. But if you don't have any specific contact, and if it's easier for you to go through this website, do not hesitate to use it. Thanks for watching. We have been a bit over the 45 minutes, so we will end this session here for today. I do apologize for the questions I haven't been able to process today. Just for your information, if you sent your questions as an anonymous person, just don't hesitate to add your name name at the end of your question, so we will be able to come back to you following this workshop and by email, or we can schedule a specific call to discuss directly with you if you are interested. So do not hesitate to leave your name under your questions, and for others who put their names, do not worry, we'll come back to you by emails or by call, depending of what will be the best for you. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Paul, Nicolas, for the meeting today.
Thank you.
And yeah, so the next session is next Wednesday, Wednesday 17th, and it will be the getting started with SCANeR. So do not hesitate to go there and just click on it to register and follow it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.